Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel.
Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. We did want to make a quick video today. So we wanted to kind of go over that the roster for the June games just dropped today. The roster did, and they're going to be playing in Texas. They're going to be playing Portugal, Jamaica, and Nigeria.
Texas! No, I was trying to do from His Congeniality where William Shatner goes, Texas!
I don't remember that part, but I have seen Miss Congeniality. So they're going to be playing in June, and the roster dropped for the players who will be participating in that in those games. And these are the games that are going to help Vlatko decide who's going to be in the Olympic squad. Even though I don't know if you've seen this in the news, some Japanese residents are protesting against the Olympics because there has been outbreaks in parts of Japan for COVID-19 that were not that there's just outbreaks, and people are saying no, still let's not have the games. So that is still kind of in the background of everything with the Olympics. I mean, it's still, even though we think it's a year later, things should be better. You know, America, we're kind of getting back to normal because vaccine is very readily available here. So not every country though. So we're gonna kind of go over the roster. There was only a couple surprises, I would say. We got an update on Tobin Heath. So let's go over the roster. Okay. So the first thing we see the goalkeepers. We see Jane, 80, and Alyssa. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen 80 in a while. She had been injured. She's coming back from injury to the national team.
I guess she replaced Ashlyn Harris.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of talk about Allie and Ashlyn in a second, too. Okay. So
they're married with a baby.
Did
you guys miss that? Or?
I know. Sloan is the cutest thing ever. I love it so much. Then we have defenders. I would say the usual suspects at this point. It's the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Alana, Abby, Tierna, Crystal, Kelly, Midge, Becky, and Sonnet. And as you can see, Allie Krieger wasn't selected. And we're going to kind of talk about her at the look for timestamps about Allie and Ash, kind of what Vlatko kind of said about them as well a little bit. But yeah, she wasn't there, so that was pretty notable. Okay, midfielders. We have Lindsay, Rose, Katarina, Christy, Sammy, the Mew Eyes, and Andy.
And Andy.
The one notable person you don't see on the roster for the midfielders is Julie, and there's a bit of an update about that in a second as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy to see the Mew Eyes there. Okay, then forwards, we have your favorite of mine, actually just Sarah's favorite, Carly Lloyd. She's literally Sarah's favorite. Alex Morgan, Kristen Press, Pino, Sophia Smith, and Lynn Williams. Like we said, you don't see Tobin on there, but I'm going to have Sarah read kind of an update at the bottom about Tobin and Julie. So this was included with the statement.
Tobin Heath will also join camp as a training player as she continues her comeback from a knee injury, and Julie Ertz has been ruled out of the summer series due to an MCL injury suffered during the first game of the NWSL season.
Yeah, because
that is rough.
We remember her in that Chicago Red Stars game. She went down hard.
The first game? I just know ACL is bad. I don't know about MCL. I'm no doctor, but...
An MCL injury. I'll read a little bit what Vlatko said about Julie, though. So midfield Julie Ertz is one of the most team's indispensable players, and Vlatko says she is fine after an MCL injury. Vlatko said Tuesday that he expects she'll be able to play in the send-off series in early July. So she won't be in this in any matches in June, but in the games right before the Olympics in July.
Well,
and then it just says her progression is going well. So I mean, that sounds good. It sounds like I don't want to say a minor injury because that's always it sounds like a minor injury, but you just never know. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's an injury. An injury is an injury.
Okay, we can talk a little bit about Tobin. I mean, Vlatko in the last couple of weeks has made a lot of comments in regards to Tobin, like her progression. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have Sarah read this. They asked in the press conference today, they asked about Tobin to Vlatko, and the question was about Tobin, and then this is what Vlatko said.
They get near daily updates on Heath. She is still day by day, but Vlatko says right now she's still not fully recovered 100%. The next step in her recovery is team environment, hence the invite to train in camp with the U.S. Women's National Team.
Yeah, I mean, so that sounds like a pretty, optimistic. Maybe they just don't know until she comes out and plays. You know what I mean? It's sounding like her recovery is going well, but I know that you just never know, and especially to get to game ready.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah. I mean, every indication is that she'll be there for July. We just never know. I mean, I still think it's up in the air. So, the two people I did want to talk about who were included on the list, well, three technically. So, did you look at the comments on the very bottom of when they posted the roster? Like, did you look in the comments?
No, I did not.
So, okay, so the main thing was that people weren't happy with Lynn being included again. And I don't know, like, I get what people are saying, but they were really harsh in the comments. And I get it. I mean,
well, who would replace her?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think people have ideas of maybe, I don't know. And that's a good question. They didn't really necessarily say in the comments, but that's an excellent question. Because I think it's kind of, I trust Vlatko, you know what I mean? And if he likes what he's seeing, then, and I've always liked Lynn, and I think Lynn and Sam Ewis started doing this podcast they do it on YouTube, but they do it on like podcasts platforms. I don't know, it really gave me more of an insight to her as a player, and I like Lynn, and I think people just say, whether I like her or not, or what, everyone says, the finish isn't there, the missed opportunities.
Yeah, it's can she play and can she slay?
But there was a lot of people in the comment section. But I mean, I always say about this situation, it's sports. If we were watching a Boston Yankees Red Sox game, the comment section would be
Sarah.
Yeah,
baseball.
The comment section would be the same. So I think it's okay to question people 100%. Like, I don't think just because they're women, I don't think, men's sports are questioned, women's sports are questioned. It's, I guess part of sports, So, yeah, but that's a good question. Who would replace Lynn if Lynn, I mean, you tell us down below who you guys think would replace her.
I can't even think right now.
I know.
Off the top of my head.
Especially even now because, yeah, maybe Mal would possibly replace her. Has Vlatko seen anything he likes in Mal recently? She's done really well in a couple of the last NWSL games, but that's a possibility. So I saw in the comment section, but I like Lynn, but I trust Vlatko. I get what people are saying because I'm part of that group. It's like, but I'm also like, I just saw a lot in the comments. The other people I want to talk about is a little bit Allie and Ash. So we saw in the roster, the training rosters, they are not included. And I think a lot of people, I don't think necessarily people are surprised. Well, I'll say this. I think they were surprised Ashlyn wasn't included, but not necessarily Allie as much. But today, Vlatko was even
surprised.
You weren't? Because they haven't been, involved. They haven't been called up in a while for the last two camps, I believe.
Right.
And, the whole question is it because of the newborn?
Still got the fresh baby.
Yeah. But Vlatko was asked about it. And he said, in the press conference today, there was also a question about Allie and Ash. And I'm going to read this. This is the one where I see it.
So he's been consistent in previous months that call-up decisions for Ashlyn Harris and Allie Krieger aren't influenced by their newborn.
So, I mean, he makes it clear that whether or not they're called or not is not, it's not because of family. But there was a little bit of sass on Twitter about the situation.
As usual.
From a very notable Crashland fan. So let's see.
Who could that be?
It was Kyle. Oh. So Kyle Krieger tweeted something, and I'm going to have you read that, and I'll put it on the screen.
Not even a phone call? They've been there for over a decade. What in the world? Make it make sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty, he's saying what he believes, he's seeing his peace of mind. And I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment. If you read the comments after he posted that, a lot of people were like, yeah, you've been there 10 years. Then I read some other comments saying, just because you've been there for 10 years, you don't get a call saying, I'm sorry, I'm not including you in the training roster. Maybe for the Olympic Games, if you weren't selected, you're on the roster. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I like people who call it like it is.
And that's his opinion, you know what I mean? He's allowed to say his opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's his sisters.
It's his sisters, and he loves them more than anything, you know what I mean? So, and I think he's just disappointed too because, especially Ash, because she's been playing so well. I think she was the player of the week last week in the NWSL. Or had the saves of the week or something.
She's been killing it.
And Ashlyn also did Instagram this, and I'll have Sarah read it. And this was from today.
Today feels heavy, but I'm lucky to have good people in my life who make it a lot easier.
Lindsay.
The dog's head looks huge.
I know, it's so cute. So, I mean, I think it sounded like it was on her mind today as well, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, we love Crashland. We're Crashland fans. And sports sucks sometimes, you know? It sucks. You know, you want people and it's hard. At the end of the day, it is the coach's decision who he brings, who he doesn't. And coaches a lot of times are wrong, and a lot of times they are very right. So it's just hard, you know? I did notice that. But yeah, between that and the Lynn comments, and I agree with the Lynn comments a lot. I just there's a point where Vlatko hears what people say and he's still making his decision, but maybe he thinks if he enough people voice up what they think, because at the end of the day, people voice up because they care. They want the team to win, you know?
Right. Yeah, they have the women's national team's best interest.
Exactly. But it's hard. Whatever. It's hard for the coach. It's hard for the fans too. So what did you guys think about this training roster that was called up? And was anything surprising to you? Are you guys still feeling really optimistic about Tobin? You know, there was this one thing that actually says that she's working with Laura Harvey in preparation. Let's see if I can find it. He's getting daily updates on her physical and medical health as Laura Harvey works with Heath on her development. So, I mean, if anyone can get back to 80, 100% health, it is Tobin, I think.
Yeesh.
Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last
thing. AF.
Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Sarah here. I'm just editing the video, and we talked about the roster for the United States, the training roster, and then actually we started talking about there was a list of possible names that were for Team GB for the Olympics, and we talked about this possible list, but actually as I'm editing this video, they actually just released the official roster for Team Great Britain for the Olympics. So Sarah and I are actually going to talk about that tonight. When we film a video tonight. So we talked about that list that came out a couple days ago. We were a little slow on it, so we probably missed the boat talking about it, but it wasn't accurate basically. But look out for a video that we're going to post in the next couple days about the official Team GB, because someone actually asked us to do our predictions, and I said in the video when we recorded it, we would have, but we had no idea, and our thoughts would probably be biased because it would probably be the people we personally like. But look out for that. But I just wanted to mention that because that was actually the second part of this video that we spent like a good 10 minutes talking about it too. What did you guys think about the training roster, and what did you guys, do you have any comments about Crashland or Lynn or Tobin or anything? Let us know. Questions, comments down below. Tell us what you think, and we will talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.